Happy Friday, everybody. Hello, Mortenat, congrats on being first. Hello, Honest Psycho. Once again, hello, everybody. Today I would like us to start the stream with Tifa telling you a fantastical story based on true events that, if possibly at some point in your life, maybe right now, you thought to yourself, is there justice? Does karma exist? Maybe this will change your opinion on this. Tifa, take it away.
After yesterday, I seriously believe in karma. Okay. I'm gonna sit down for this because yesterday I had a crazy day and I kid you not, I cannot even make up any of this. It started kind of shitty, like I signed up for a, what's a brandschutzhelfer?
A fire
evacuation
fighting thingy. Basically, at least in Germany, I imagine everywhere else too. Members of staff can sign up to be like a fire captain, I think is the right term. So in case of an emergency, they are the ones to like take charge and go through all the steps necessary to fight a fire, for example.
Basically.
Call the firefighters, make sure people evacuate, all of that stuff.
We're the ones if it's a small fire, we try to take it out, evacuate people out of the building, stuff like that. I signed up for my refresher course.
Yes, Tifa is trained to handle these emergencies, believe it or not.
Excuse me.
Also, hello Rix, congrats on being second.
Hi Rix, how you doing?
I'm just saying, people need to understand that the person they know that you are is actually trained to handle these situations.
Believe it or not, I'm quite a responsible person. Besides everything you may hear of.
Despite what you might think of her. Carry on.
So I signed up for my refresher because it was like 2 years ago since I've done one. And it was outside, of course, because we actually put shit on fire and then we have to take it out.
They put objects on fire, not feces. Again, this is Tifa speaking, so I understand why people would take her literal. It was not fecal matter. Anyway.
And we were standing in the middle of a parking lot. It was like 30 degrees. I don't even know
hot.
It was.
Like 100.
Really hot. The sun was beating down. There wasn't a little bit of wind. I got burned. I got a...
Jack, I wouldn't have thought of this. You will at some point, trust me. Carry on. So you got...
I even got some color. Does the stream pick that up? The difference in my arm? Probably not.
Yeah, you can see the fade. Tifa got a bit of a tan and spoilers, she did get a minor heat stroke. But that's not the point.
That day it was horrible. I shouldn't have signed up in summer. Why don't they do this in like winter or something? Anyway,
because
it doesn't
she's
matter.
Tifa. This is the part that you might have expected.
So when I was finally done with work, I kind of had a headache after standing in the beating sun for so long. And then I was like, oh, finally I can go back. And then I was in the train, and then like 10 minutes into my drive, we got stuck. And for the next
Which happens in public transport. It sucks, but it happens.
For the next like 40 minutes, we were stuck. And we weren't going anywhere because our train broke down, so we had to wait for someone to come fix it in the middle of the track, and that took forever. And it was hot, and the airco wasn't properly working, so you can imagine people were getting agitated, I suppose. Then when we finally started moving, 2 people, and I don't even know why, 2 guys, they started fighting with each other over the stupidest thing.
It's hot, you're stuck in a train for 40 minutes, emotions are high, people figured... You know, the one thing that's gonna make the situation better is if we have a physical altercation inside of a busy train.
I suppose, and I think it was over something really stupid, like one guy didn't move his back out of the way enough for this dude with a step that wanted to get past. I have
Tifa
no clue. It was
means
ridiculously
like
stupid.
Like, what do you call those?
Isn't it a step?
No, Tifa, a step is what you take with your feet. A kickboard?
Oh, kickboard, yeah.
A scooter. One of those things you put... It's like a skateboard.
You put one leg on it and you push yourself forward.
Like a skateboard with a control stick, kind of. Yeah.
Then at some point this lady, the seat next to me was free and I was sitting... Scooter, thank you. I was sitting on the outside in like an aisle and this lady next to me wanted to sit... Or this lady that was standing wanted to sit next to me, which was...
Makes sense.
A seat in the middle of the sun, but okay, up to her. So I moved my legs to the side, so it was like in the middle of the aisle, so that she could easily pass.
Which is what you do, right? When people want to sit down in a train next to you, you try to make space for them. I mean, there's space, but you try to make it more convenient for them, because why wouldn't you, right? You're a nice person.
But I didn't notice those two assholes who were fighting in the train got closer towards me, and one of them tripped over me. Then they got into a physical fight, and I was kind of in the middle of it.
And now it was a battle royale, because Tifa drew first blood.
It was like basically my fault, because this asshole decided to trip over me.
You know that WWE moment when somebody comes in like from the back of a screen with like an aluminium chair and just goes to... Like that was Tifa, except the stakes were way lower and it was completely unintentional.
And I already had a headache, so like I pushed one dude away, which fell into the other guy, and then they started literally spitting at one another. Then
as you do, because people in Germany, you might not know this, but Honest Psycho, back me up here, because you're German too. A lot of us are kind of like llamas, apparently. Something in our lizard brain goes, it's hot, it's an annoying situation, we already had fisticuffs, now we spit.
Basically, which
I've never done this myself, but if I'm ever in this situation, just so all of you know, I will probably start spitting too.
Don't spit on each other.
No, it's really not good.
Which really pissed off one of the other guys, so he like took the scooter of that guy and started smashing into the other dude with it.
Like wrestling, basically.
And we're all like, fuck, we've just been stuck in this train for 40 minutes. It finally started moving. Dude, and then everyone like started shouting at them to just get out the train and fight on the platform.
Just get a room, you two.
Like, eventually they like stumbled out of the train and we could move on. So
start rolling on the platform, you know, getting it on or whatever.
All good. Then I still had like half an hour of my train journey to fulfill. In the meantime, I think it's the heat, there were plenty of people also shouting and nutting and screaming at one another. Old people being mad at the air, I have no clue. Then I finally got out of this train. And normally from my last station I could just walk home, but I missed a package, or Jack technically missed a package.
I ain't done shit, but...
You were the one that was home, but regardless.
They didn't ring the door.
Missed the package, so I had to go pick it up at the packing station, and because it was so hot I decided to take another stop by train.
Wait, after all of what she just gone through telling you, she realized I gotta go to this other place and my best bet is to use public transport again.
I didn't want to walk through the sun.
It wasn't that moment that she knew she fucked up. Anyway, keep going.
Yes, even though it was only like 1 or 2 stops. So I'm standing... waiting for my train. It's like 5 minutes, and then I kid you not, this like, I think it was like an 11-12-year-old was being annoying on the platform already, and I was standing next to like a little imbus that was selling sandwiches, coffee.
Like a snack shop.
Bistro?
I think that's a thing also internationally, at least I've seen it over here in Germany and in the UK and in France. Like
these
train
little
stations
stands.
usually have like a little store where you can buy drinks or food, because, you know, you might as well make money off of the commuters. It makes sense.
It's a good place to
But Tifa, imbiss
stuff.
is not an English word. That's
No?
that's very German.
Sandwich store.
Yes.
Station, sandwich store. Which is usually there, they don't have bad stuff. There was this homeless dude talking to the shopkeeper there, wanting a sandwich and stuff, asking if he could just get it, because he didn't have money. He just had a bag with empty bottles. Bottle collecting in Germany is a thing because...
You get money back for recycling.
Exactly.
Yeah. You hand in bottles, they give you a couple of cents.
So usually people who need the extra money, like homeless people, go through the trash, collect them, and then hand them in at the supermarket for some extra money. Then this annoying kid that was already being annoying, like took one of the empty plastic bottles this dude had in his bag while he was still arguing at this point with the shopkeeper, and started smacking the homeless guy with it. And I swear I already had it that day.
That's when the little kid learned that he done goofed, because Tifa changed in that moment.
I was so done, like my patience and everything was already like up to here, and then this fucking kid starts to bully a homeless guy, and I'm sorry, homeless people already have it hard enough. There is no reason to bully homeless people.
Mind you, to add to this, she already started a fight in the train.
My adrenaline was already peaked.
Technically, no, she didn't. She didn't.
So I like grabbed this bottle from this kid and I start cussing him out for everything that shouldn't be under the sun, if that's how you say it.
If you've ever seen a video of like people trying to scare away bears,
like I'm shouting and yelling at this kid, threatening to hit him with the bottle before he runs off. I was so mad and I let it all out at this stupid 12-year-old.
to be honest, deserved for harassing that homeless person.
I mean, it did. Unfortunately, I still had like 2 minutes for my train, so I paid a sandwich and some water for the dude. He went off. I went off.
Tifa is skipping a key detail. Also, thank you very much for the reset bricks. Appreciate it. She, after chasing away that stupid kid, took $5 out of her wallet and just told the shopkeeper, just give him something to drink and to eat. Here's $5. Just give stuff to him. He has it hard enough. $5. This story point will be important later.
The $5 is important.
She gave him $5 flat. Carry on.
It was. Then I went to the store. Nothing funny happened. I picked up my package. All good. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a different walk home because it has more shade.
The day is ruined. I don't want to deal with people no more. I'm just gonna walk home. It's a long walk. I've already got a pounding headache from a minor heat stroke. I'm already slightly burned. I'm gonna walk home with the package.
I was so mad. And I'm like calling Jack. I'm like, you are never going to believe the crap day I just had. Like,
I mean, she
seriously.
told me all
and then
stuff.
I'm like, the moment I was done with my story, I'm like looking down the street. I usually look down while I'm walking, and there's $5 laying in front of me. I kid you not. That is the moment
Karma.
where I realized life is on my side. What I spent on the homeless dude,
Yeah.
I got right back. I'm like, okay. Karma's on my side. Life is on my side. Nothing matters anymore. And then I went home
It's all good.
whistling, and the day was good again.
And then she spent the rest of the night laying on the couch in misery because, as I said in the beginning and mentioned multiple times, she actually did have a small heat stroke. Like pounding headache, everything. Yeah. So Tifa made space for another person to sit down, accidentally triggered an altercation.
A fist fight.
Again, not her fault if you ask me. Then she scared away some douchebag being an asshole to a homeless person, which is also a nice thing if you ask me, as in stepping up for that. Takes courage.
Well, the problem, I probably wouldn't even have done it if it wasn't for that kid.
Then she got the guy some food and something to drink and paid for it, and then she found exactly the amount of money. Probably from all the stress of beating. Yeah, that doesn't help. Exactly. I told her too, it's like, she told me the story and I was still on the phone when she found the $5.
You are never going to believe me. Like, I wouldn't even believe me if someone told me that.
Listen, I'm not probably ever gonna advocate physical violence. But the only way this story would have been even funnier if you... Hypothetical, I'm just saying. The only way it would have been funnier is if you had actually smacked the kid with a bottle. Again, empty plastic bottle. It's more like a, you hit me, than an actual, like, painful thing. And the kid had dropped $5 like loot in an MMO.
I regret not beating him up.
Then again, I think technically that would be theft or mugging. I'm not sure on the specifics. So all in all, given the circumstances, I believe the way it did actually happen is like the perfect roller coaster.
I mean,
you did well that day, Tifa.
I do feel like I did well. I regret not beating him up, but at the moment I also thought like, okay, if I beat this kid up, I'm going to jail, even though it's an empty water bottle.
Correct. Despite the urge being very powerful to do this, you did not act on it, and I'm very proud of you for that. Oh, sorry. Now I'm starting a fight. Oh.
I swear it was the weirdest way home. This was all like in a time frame of, let's say, 2.5 hours. It was so weird.
Not if you attempt to return the money. I'm not sure on the details. I'm not a lawyer. Thankfully, we also don't need to actually go into like the finer details of that, because thankfully that's not how it happened.
If this kid dropped money, I'm telling you, I would have kept it. That kid was a douche.
Allegedly.
And he deserves his lunch money stolen from him.
She would have, of course, returned the money, because I'm pretty sure not doing that would have been legal.
I'm sure it wouldn't.
I'm sure she would have. We would never advocate any other thing. Isn't that correct, Tifa?
That is absolutely correct.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For confirming that. Who do you think dropped the bill you found later?
That is a good question. There was no one walking in front of me in that street, so it must have been laying there for a bit.
Potentially? I mean, could it have been the kid? In some weird circumstance, yes, but there is absolutely no evidence of that. Because...
That would have been really funny. I still have the $5 laying separately on the table. Like, I'm gonna keep that thing.
Whispers, hey kid, you dropped your money, here you go. Oh damn, he's gone.
Hello. Hello. Guess he didn't want
He didn't
this
hear
money.
Me. Shame.
What a shame. What a shame.
The most I ever found was $25. Just randomly laying around on the street. No. If karma is real, that $5 was probably from the kid. That's what I like to think.
I want to believe that as well.
Yeah, again, there is absolutely no way of knowing. I mean, what can you do? Like, post the serial number on the bill online and then ask somebody if it's theirs?
Oh, what a coincidence. That's exactly the bill I lost.
Hey, did you lose money that I have absolutely no way of tracking who it belonged to? Yes, it's mine. So...
I know, in that moment, after feeling so crappy, it just really felt like life decided I was fine. It was all good.
Like, here, for your trouble, take a break.
Exactly. I should have bought a lottery ticket yesterday.
I told you to do it.
Yeah, I kind of got.
Wow.
I was like considering it, honestly.
You finally catch such a lucky streak and then you don't use it for even greater purposes.
But my karma points were kind of swapped out already.
Oh, it's like Nagito from Danganronpa 2, where your luck goes... Like, first you go through a bunch of crap and then $5, nice.
Yeah, basically that.
Found a guy's drug money stash in his car when working on it once.
Me too, I'm going to be quiet.
Isn't that illegal though?
10k in his car.
Might want to check with a lawyer. Or somebody who knows better than that. Modernat.
Just stay quiet.
Did you make it home safe? I did eventually read that there are forest fires in Canada. And
I already told you there were forest fires in Canada.
I think we've established, Tifa, that if you give me information, that's not nearly as meaningful to me as me obtaining information myself, or a trusted source like Modernat giving me the information.
Wow. Well, I think the most money I've ever found on the street was like $250. I was like 14-year-old and I was with a friend back then, and there was like this super dreamy Romanian guy playing on his guitar, singing a song in front of the supermarket, which was at like the corner where we found it.
I like that you remember his nationality.
Oh yeah, I remember that day perfectly.
I remember everything about him.
I'm Dutch. I remember every day that has to do with a lot of money. I kid you not. Anyway.
Clichés gotta start somewhere.
I went with my friend into the supermarket and we like stood behind the window looking at this guy. We could still hear him. And for like half an hour,
totally not creepy.
We were like arguing whether we should give him the money.
Because he's handsome.
It's $250, yeah. We were like, oh, we should give it to him. And then we were like, well, but it's $250. And in the end, we didn't. And we just left. And then I got home and then my dad made me share half of the money with my friend. And I was like,
Yes, that.
I mean, it was fair. She was there when I found it, but you know, whatever. I still remember that day.
That is nice. Though.
It was.
Do you remember
nice
what you
thing to
spent
do.
your portion of the money on?
I do actually.
Donald Duck books, all of them.
No, I gave it to my mom to put towards groceries.
That's very sweet.
Well, better than just giving it away in a
Hello,
moment
sir.
of
You are
ruin.
handsome. Take my monies, please. Tifa, how old were you back then?
Like 14, 13.
So at 13, you were a simp. Basically. This person is visually attractive. I must pay them for it. You never offered to give me money for
We were
good looks.
teenage girls.
You never offered to give me random amounts of money for my looks.
Technically, I do. We have a shared account.
You know
You
what?
get half of my money.
You are
for
absolutely
your good
correct, and now I feel bad because I never thought of it that way.
You get half of my money for your good
True.
looks.
That's really sweet of you, thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, you do too from me, but... So you're only with me for my good looks?
It's not your personality. No, I'm just kidding. It's just kidding.
You know what? I'll take it. Yes, for today, that's good enough. Actually, I haven't left my university in 3 days.
Oh, you've actually been stuck in there with everyone. Has it
hope
gotten that bad?
I hope you are joking.
I hope so too, but I can imagine that didn't go down immediately.
Let me Google the air quality index in the New York area. It was affected really bad, right? I saw pictures. Like, wasn't it a couple days ago that Diablo 4 officially launched? Like on the 6th, on the day when that happened? Because I saw on Reddit a picture of this huge billboard for the Diablo 4 release. And the sky being completely like orange from the fire, dust, whatever it is that's in the air.
Wasn't that for this Diablo one? Because I saw a headline about that this morning.
No, I'm completely serious, just like I always am. Okay.
Okay, now I believe you have gotten home.
Listen, I never make jokes, especially on y'all's chat. See,
Hey, we are serious streamers, basically German, and we all know who hates fun.
people that wear coats like I do, apparently. Listen, this is actually one of my strongest, or worst, I guess, weaknesses in life. I don't think I've ever talked about this. Usually, that's why I watch your stream.
Are there
Thank
any
you very
jokes? What are jokes? You
Ha
don't
ha
know.
ha ha ha! Please clap. You may laugh now. You may laugh now.
Ha 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 ha.
No, but
Serious business.
stop interrupting me. I'm trying to have a deep conversation here. This is actually one of my weaknesses. Like, usually I think I can read the room well enough. Like, I mess up a lot, but on average, at least 51% of the time, I think I'm somewhat in the right vibe, energy, whatever you want to call it.
I kind of disagree with
But
that.
if something like this happens, like, no, I was actually completely serious, that just completely kills me inside. Because that makes me go, oh my god, what other things wasn't this person joking about? Oh my god, I remember making
You
fun
can
of it.
tell by the just like I always am that is not serious.
Yes, you can tell, but by the time my eyes go to that part of a sentence, my mind is already racing.
You literally just said that you're good at reading the room, like you're quite often not. Especially when we're streaming.
You do remember the other words I said?
No.
Kind of like indicating the opposite?
No, I only hear what I want to hear.
Do you see now why we're such a great couple? Yes. I'm
Also-
happy that you're safe either way, Mod or not. Safe enough to be here, which I mean, would believe.
Well,
Now I
even
can't
if
speak
you are in
anymore.
a life-threatening situation, I expect you to be here.
No! Please, your own well-being comes first.
After our stream. Okay, fine.
Okay, let me try to reset mentally.
Also, Rex, what's the top version of Diablo? How many different versions of Diablo are there?
If there's a top version, is there also a mid and a bottom tier? Is this the point where I make more jokes about me not liking most Blizzard games and considering all Diablo versions being bottom tier? 69. Nice. I don't get why, but sure, I'll take it. Tifa. You know what will... Oh, as in $69. 70, 90 and 100. Okay. So you spent $100 on a game you haven't played yet. Do you think so far you've got your money's worth? I do that all the time, I feel that.
I absolutely feel that.
I think the most expensive one got early access a couple days earlier. Yeah.
But
can't believe they made a top and bottom version just for Pride Month. Honestly, missed opportunity. That could have hit or miss really badly depending on how they market it, but honestly, I could have tried.
At least there's a 69 version.
True.
I mean...
A lot of the things I get with the top version don't come out yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but still, do you feel like you got your money, or you will have gotten your money's worth? Because...
Also, that means now you kind of have to play it, because the moment you start waiting and then the stuff comes out in the other versions, it would feel like a waste.
I don't know if it's like early access though.
If you at least played now like for half an hour, then you can say like, okay, I got it.
I'm waiting for Fody, that's it. I think I saw on Discord earlier that he's already playing.
Oh, I thought he
I don't
already
mean
started
to like give anything away, but at least in his status it said Diablo 4. And
Is that online, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
You asked
I think I already asked that, but...
But I work while he's awake. Okay, fair, yeah. Time zones...
I mean, yeah.
Time zones are less of an issue, but like schedules and stuff. Yeah.
I keep being surprised whenever I see the upside down text and I'm like, oh yeah, wait.
Yeah, same. I was like,
remember.
What's that, like beta, reverse, sigma? It's egg.
Mame, happy
Friday. I am astonished by the continuous work you put in of finding new ways to say egg in different ways. I have to point that out.
Played enough to be able to join an MP game, that's it.
Multiplayer. I hope you get to play together soon.
I think I really got to check out the game at some point. I still have no clue. Diablo. I still have no clue.
Which one?
Well, any. I still have no clue what it even looks like.
There's 5 Diablo games.
And
1, 2 and add-ons, 3 and add-ons, now 4 and Immortal.
The only thing I know is the poster.
Fair enough. I think almost everybody has seen it at some point in their life.
I mean the poster, yeah. You get enough ads for it.
Immortal sucks. I agree. You know what also sucks? Usually, unless it's a once per year chance that Tifa gets it right, the recap. Tifa, what happened the last time we played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney?
Yeah, we're in...
While Tifa is trying to stall, disclaimer, I forgot everything about last time myself. I couldn't even think of a stream title. So I quickly skipped through our last VOD to kind of be caught up. I will still say that Tifa has to do a recap, even though I don't think I'll be of much help here either.
Well, I know we're in episode 5.
That is correct.
We're currently in court trying to see who killed a certain detective.
Bruce Goodman.
Oh, you even remembered the name.
Yeah.
Nice.
How was he killed?
Who was found dead in Miles Edgeworth's trunk, killed by Miles Edgeworth's knife, but killed by the chef prosecutor. Prosecutor.
I like prosecutor.
And it's her sister who has asked for help.
Lana Skye appears to be the murderer. She has confessed to it. She keeps trying to confess to it.
Well, we're kind of past that already.
Emma Skye, at her tender age, is being our assistant in this case.
Yeah,
yes.
we're
currently... Those are the basics. We could have skipped that part, but sure.
Yeah, we're currently in court. You were the one that asked, like, oh, how and who murdered them? Which is also the basics.
And nobody asked her why. Yes, as especially Honest Psycho keeps pointing out, yes, we still don't have any motives.
Also, there's not really any notes. I'm just fiddling with things on the desk.
Do you? I find it really sweet that you think we're smart enough to make notes in advance. Spoilers, there aren't any.
It's not really worth writing down the recap for notes, really. The recap is not that important that we need to write notes for it, no.
If any of you agree with me that the recap is actually really important, please let her have it. Now carry on. Where are we currently in this trial?
We are currently... you lost me. Oh yeah, we're currently going through the thingy of lunch lady who said she has witnessed the murder. The witness statement.
Her testimony.
The lunch lady, her testimony, she says she has witnessed the murder. There's some cracks and holes in there that we're currently going down on, and that's it.
Can you... You are aware that going down on something or someone means something very different than what I believe you tried to say, which is...
I know, I said it and I was like, that doesn't make sense, but I'm not gonna mention it because people will just go over it and ignore it, except for you, of course.
I think the people watching are still recovering. Nobody is going down on the witness right now. No, we are pressing her points verbally to try to get her to crack and give us more information that we can turn around to protect our client, whom we believe to be innocent. Edgeworth goes down on Phoenix, not clickbait. According to her, yes. Tifa wants to gut on an Angel Star, confirmed.
Now that is clickbait.
Just asking questions, right? That's what an investigative journalist does. Makes sense. Tifa, next time there's a test, make sure you study well. Yeah.
It's been a whole week, like, gotta give me some slack.
Do you remember that I gave you, like, the stink eye the other day? I think it was Shrift, whom you told, just go watch the last VOD if you want to know what happened. How about you eat your own words and take your own medicine?
No.
I think you should.
Like, last week wasn't important, but today is.
To be fair, it was 6 days ago, so not that bad. Look, video games. Let's do this. I thought Tifa made notes to stump you when you say she forgets. Nah. Ain't no notes here.
Having Tomoe. Well, I do have some, like... I have a note with my little ship on it, which I use to put my water on it. If
it's used as a coaster. Also, what is having Tomoe?
Hmm?
Those are the sounds that came out of your mouth. Please swallow the water first.
Tomoe?
That's what you said.
What's a Tomoe?
Edgeworth went down on the witness. Now he's rising from the acid. That needs to be the name of the adult-only parody.
I think we forgot to mark this stream 18+.
Rising from... Oh my god.
Just made fun of her for not remembering stuff. Now we're asking if she remembers. I know, right? I mean...
Modern, have you... I don't know how much money there's to be made in that field, but have you ever considered applying in the porn industry to become the person who names the movies? Like, I think that could be your thing. Also, stop going through the lines without me.
We already had the previous one. I was just checking up because now that Mami mentioned it, we stopped in the middle of a cross-examination.
Correct, where we learned that Angel Star told us that Lana Skye was wearing a red muffler or scarf.
Yeah, but it wasn't like in the middle because we just were at like a point where they went like, oh, add that to your testimony, and now it got added.
And then Tifa needed to go to bed, so that's where we stopped.
It was 10:30.
That's what I'm saying.
That was late enough.
Now, where's the muffler part of the conversation?
One deck.
Press on that. I haven't, but I do know people who did copywriting in the adult entertainment.
I see where you got your inspiration from.
Do you hang out with them a lot? Because I feel like in a non-sexual way, something might have rubbed off.
I feel like you need to make a screenshot of the things you said send them to those people, and I think they will be proud of you.
And if they can get those names in, maybe they can share a little bit of a kickback with you. Because I'm pretty sure they get promoted quickly. Those are good. You're throwing them away by not making money off of them, I think. Now,
it's a missed talent.
She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say?
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony.
Cheeky.
You didn't tell a lot in your testimony.
April, may I
Anyway.
see your personalities? I think we can all see her character very clearly.
All I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word!
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Alright.
We're just pressing.
What do you think muffler? I'm guessing she misheard and Lana didn't actually say muffler, but what word sounds similar to that?
I have no clue. Muffler already seems like a weird word to mention.
I'm confused.
Muffin. Bring me a muffin.
Emma, I just killed a person. Can you please bring muffins?
Killing makes hungry.
How would you know?
Not out of experience, of course. So I have heard.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies.
The music stopped.
And there we go again. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket.
If you have a cell phone on you, why would you first try to use a public emergency phone?
And during that time,
And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence.
Also, the phone was found under the car. Or next to the car.
Yes.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Wait, go back. Present. I think we have to use the cell phone to point out the fact that we found the phone next to the car.
I get it, but it also doesn't make sense.
We should talk about Blue Badger, honestly.
Wait, let me also press on this just so that we've gone through everything.
She made to escape. Can you be more specific?
She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras.
What? Huh?
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum. There was an oil drum laying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
Yeah. What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
The other... the parking lot entrance.
Yeah, so now she went into a dead corner just to hit an oil drum at her.
Yeah, none of this makes sense.
That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few I wish we could solve a few before finding more though. So, Miss Sky tried to run.
I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. I'm still uncertain. Did we already press on this?
Yes, Tifa, we've pressed every single thing, I believe, which is how we ended up here. Which is where we talking about the muffler started. Wait, didn't one photo show Miss Guy with a gun wound in the shoulder? It doesn't show a gun wound, it shows blood splatter on her coat.
Yeah, it was...
Check.
This one.
Press enter, please.
Enter.
Yes, that enter. This. And I have no idea how that plays into anything.
And then we had the argument that we couldn't tell it was blood and stuff.
Yeah, because it's black and white. It could also be something else.
Okay, we have the picture. We have the floor plan. The phone.
What? Can we check the floor plan again? I have absolutely no idea what part of her testimony we need to attack.
No. Well, we can try the phone, like you said.
You know what I need in my life? A game like this, where you can just enter a prompt of what you think you should do. Phoenix Wright should raise a point about how none of this makes sense. For example. That's the last one.
So you say use the phone? I'm gonna save in the meantime.
I mean, I think so, but that also, like... I don't understand what they want us to do. Just try it, I guess. And that was wrong.
Yep.
Where did she say she was standing again? She said originally that she was on B block because she's a visitor with her car, so she had to climb over the fence and then go to her. By that time she was behind the partition. Yeah, use the parking floor lot floor plans. And nope, also wrong. I'm trying to look for a contradiction, I cannot find one in what she's saying.
Well, there is stuff that makes no sense, but I don't see which evidence we have to throw at her. Wait, let me click true. Here.
So, Miss Guy tried to run.
See if we get a hint.
We've been here like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was hoping there would be a hint. Suspect attempted to run.
Do the floor plan again on everything, because why would you attempt to run behind the partition?
Okay, this is the first one.
Nope. Why?
Oh, I should have saved that the other time. This is where I just used it.
If she was at the B block, what would she be able to see? Where were the witness and the suspect relative to each other? Well, check the floor plan again. Well,
she was in B.
The lady was over on B, I believe, over at the bottom. The big car is supposed to be hers. So looking diagonal over to the middle top, where the other car is, where it happened. But she also said she climbed over the chain link fence.
Yeah, after she saw what happened.
I don't know how other people climb these things, but when I climbed those, I would not be able to look around.
Oh, she wouldn't be able to see the telephone. Wait, you have a point there. But she was already on... Ah, here. So we try... Hey,
yeah.
That was it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean...
Guess it makes sense if you consider...
Yeah...
But if you know there is a phone there, because she's been there almost every day.
That's what I was thinking. Like, if she goes to this place every single day to sell her lunchboxes, I would assume, especially with her background as a former detective, she would pay attention to her surroundings and she would know that there's a phone like that. So I never even questioned the fact that from where she was, she couldn't see it. Thank you. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. As does Tifa with her hair right now.
I saw one of those little thunderflies.
You're a thunderfly.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
So just because you've been a detective before means you can't be a dick?
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years ago.
Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Same.
Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Excuse me? Your Honor, she threatened me?
Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that is true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Mortal Kombat.
The important part is I saw it all. Well, she could have seen it when she was at the top of the gate, then the partition isn't fully to the wall, so when she was at the top point, she could have looked down and see that she was calling someone. That's how I would talk my way out of it now.
I didn't make that connection.
Whoa!
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
Not a bad one.
Smooth. Nope.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... Oh my god.
Ooh, it's gonna be...
How would we know this?
I'm gonna go with what she saw for now. But the order of events, the fact that that is in it, is also a good point.
Simply because the order of events makes no sense in the previous line of thinking to me, I say we go with the order of events. You can just save, you know.
True. You wanna go with the order of events?
Yes.
I'm also fine with what she saw.
Press the button. She lied about the order of events. Miss Sky used that emergency phone before the murder.
Oh.
I see, I hadn't thought of that. Makes no sense. That took the wind out of her sails.
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would anyone use the emergency phone before the murder?
Huh?
Just when you think he can't sink any lower, he amazes us. I applaud you, Mr. Wright. You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right?
Guess that teaches me to not get excited before the evidence. Yes, as you shouldn't. Good thing that never happened.
Indeed, it did not. Then it's just what she saw.
Now we checked out all of these lines as well. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Sky using that emergency phone. So stop moving my chair with yours.
Sorry.
You know what? Next time we are getting like new chairs for this place, we get like a love chair. So that we both can sit here comfortably together on one thing. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox?
Oh, that was wrong too.
Also never happened. We're just trying to find all the lines that they put into this game.
Where she saw it?
Yes, she saw it on TV, clearly. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Wait, did he just confess to lying?
No, he didn't. It's the fact that he already called him a liar before he even said what was up.
Okay, I'm guessing we're gonna go with she actually was in the security room?
I think so as well, but why?
Only way she could have seen what was happening behind the partition, no? I guess?
I suppose.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction.
Oh, okay.
The place from where Miss Star witnessed the crime
Security room?
was here. Yes. Enter. Press buttons.
Yeah, it
Take
wasn't
that.
enter, it was E.
This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room.
The photo is angled, so it could not be in B block.
Angled?
I never even thought of the angle in the picture. Never mind. I mean, could still be. We don't know if she was actually the one taking the photo. That could still be a thing later too.
Oh, like that. It's not facing straight. Oh, true. Now you have a point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that picture. I thought you were talking about the floor plan.
I wonder if that's going to be a thing later. Let's find out.
Indeed. The security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of a prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of a partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr?
How many years? Oh.
She did say that.
How many years have I been getting the better of men? I think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make justice prevail.
The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Probably trying to take us all down. Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
That's
it
not
would.
what Emma sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They swapped her. That confused me.
Yes, it's a camera movement. Tifa
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
But it's not a picture of anybody getting stabbed, so... It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. Oh, now perjury exists in Japanifornia? Really?
It only exists if
When
the person
necessary.
knows it. The other people all didn't know about it, but she obviously did, so in this case she's guilty.
That would be an incredible new law system where a law only applies to you if you were actually aware of its existence. So if you don't know that something is not legal, then you're not guilty. It's easy as that. So if you never learn a single thing about law and the justice system, you are basically untouchable.
Honestly, the best way is to get a kid, raise that kid without teaching it any of that, and then make it do everything.
Yeah, basically. Genius. Japanifornia is a magical place. Please don't ever go there. The photo was shot from somewhere in B block, the opposite of the security room. Yes, and at an angle too. You have a point there. Ignorance does not protect from punishment. Apparently here it does.
Japanifornia it does.
Because she wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Me.
I think Phoenix will, right after these messages, while we take a short break to think about it.
BRB. As Tifa hiccups.
BRB. We're back.
That was too slow. But we are. Well, there was a second person colliding with Angel to Frame Sky. I believe so too. The question is, who did it?
Her boyfriend.
The person we haven't met so far. Then again, the other cases or episodes also had characters show up right at the end.
I think we're gonna have a new character introduced too.
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Okay.
Which one you ever go for? The one in the security room.
All of them. It was not just 2 people doing it, it was at least 4. She said she had 3 boyfriends, right?
And I think the one who messed with the picture is also gonna be introduced.
Yeah. Or maybe they're more like inadvertent accessories to at least her crime. I don't know if they knew they were helping Angel doing this.
But if she did it, why does the sister admit to doing it? There's still nothing that makes me believe this is why she did it.
I have absolutely no idea.
Or there's no good reason for her to take the blame so far.
Well, meanwhile, Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station.
And because of her position, it has to be a really good reason.
But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what would change?
Distance to the crime or...
The angle. The distance could potentially be the same depending on where in B block you are. If you're in the top right corner on the floor map, you are still the same distance away. You know?
But true, it's now about what difference does it make in where she was standing.
Yes. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. Honest, Psycho, you knew it. You called it. The angle is the problem.
It before.
Genius.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the 2nd floor, and she would have sort of a more 3D view of a crime. 100% Tifa energy in that line of saying stuff.
What?
That's exactly how you would explain it. Well, if you see it at an angle, it's more like 3D, kind of. No? That gave me Tifa energy.
I don't know, but what I do know is Peanut Bean, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And this is important. Why?
We're not sure yet.
Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright.
But that's the only reasonable answer.
Well, then I think it is the option. It's distance. I should have saved here. Oh, too late.
Oh, come on. I know, right? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. Ace Attorney, let's go! Heck yeah!
Ace Attorney logic is wrecking our brains right now.
I take it from that statement you've played all of the games in the series, probably.
It's our first time playing, and I can tell you right now, it might seem like this is the very first time we're playing any of this. We have actually beat the first 4 episodes. Not that I can tell right now.
The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of a crime.
Hey, I was right.
Oh wait, now I feel foolish. Yes, the distance on the floor plan remains the same depending on your location on the opposite sides of the chain link. But if she had to come over from the B block, she had to get over the chain link fence, adding tremendous amounts of distance. You knew that.
I literally gave the answer.
Why didn't you say that then?
Because you guys were, angle, and then I was like, okay, fine, makes sense. It's angle.
Yeah, and I still maintain that we are correct too.
I mean,
because
in my eyes, you're not wrong.
Is this game telling me that when she saw it, she was standing on top of her own car? How else did she get the same angle as from the second floor from the security room?
I mean, the answer made full sense, but still.
Everything except the Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2. Do you still plan on playing those? Also, which Ace Attorney that you have played was your favorite so far? Miss Star, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of a crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness.
You.
Yes.
That looks like little rubber elastic bands. You ordered the squid wheels, right?
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
I was bringing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Way too many details. That sounds fake.
Boysenberry? What's boysenberry?
Kind of like blackcurrant.
Oh, okay.
If I'm correct. You've had it before.
Okay, could be. Don't recall the name.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed a crime from the glass-walled station.
It's also a girlsenberry if you have a girlfriend. It's the joke the judge made. I just made it worse somehow.
Also, honestly, the moment a witness lied for 2 times on the stand, they should just go, I'm sorry.
You're not credible anymore. Please
You're
go
no
away.
longer credible. Everything you've seen or saw or whatever you still want to say goes out the window. Next.
Opinions invalidated, basically.
This is why we spent 3 whole days on these trials.
Yeah.
And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene, but the door was locked. I couldn't open it. So she ran all the way back to B block.
And then jumped over the...
By this time she would have been long gone. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
Yes.
This makes no sense. Probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. Okay, the 5 minutes we can counter.
Psycho, am I imagining correct that you're watching this like, she never told any of this?
Yes, because she's lying.
5 minutes.
Like that, yes. Understandable.
This makes no
This is
sense.
such a sham. Also, I'm warm.
Because it's warm in this room.
I hate summer.
This changes things considerably.
Yes, it does.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Was that caviar and oh no, that was on toast. Okay.
It looked like, what are they called? Blinis?
Potatoes.
Those little, like, kind of like pancakes, but I didn't think they're sweet.
No, that was toast. I thought it was like hollowed out potato with caviar in it. Stop bribing the judge! Never.
She's not bribing him, she's feeding him. That's totally different.
Also, if I had to choose, probably Apollo Justice or Trials and Tribulations.
Okay.
Do we even have those? I don't know which games we got.
I don't know if they're part of a trilogy or if those are the 3DS games.
I think we only have the trilogy.
So far, yes. Well, we're playing the trilogy right now.
Yeah.
Truly a person of culture. I take that most of the people who played them agree that they're good. Looking forward to them. If we ever get through this case at some point.
This one also feels longer than the other cases so far. I mean, we haven't even played this case longer than the others, but by feeling, it's like, wow.
Trials and Tribulations is the second in the trilogy, Apollo Justice Ace 24.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so at least one of them would be next. That makes sense.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Do I have any evidence to stop this?
Well, of course we're gonna object.
Raise an objection. 5 minutes between the witnessing of a murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente.
He has a point. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, Rocky.
That looked kind of cute though.
It does a little.
A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone.
Sus.
Yes, unpopular opinions, but ones I agree with personally. I take that means the same from my argument.
Oh, it's the third one in the trilogy. Well, we should have that one too.
Well, yes, it's part of the game we're currently playing.
Well, that proves the point.
I don't know which opinions are the most popular. Yours and Mortonauts. By my decree, apparently. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of a crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Yeah!
Sounds like what a killer would say, Judge.
Why do all these people always seem like they actually got stamped? Like,
because I will cut you with my words. The truth can hurt. Yeah. Rocking with Mr. Hedgehog and Edgeworth, so I'm cool. Does Phoenix Wright ever get a slightly more realistic hairdo? He doesn't, right?
I mean,
it's forever the spiky, like...
It works.
It's a little bit of Sonic, actually.
Why would they change the hairdo?
I don't know.
That's not how it works.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony.
Yeah.
Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cover-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Oh, nice. Was that her? Darn it. There she goes again. That's actually at one point in the series. Wait, really?
Oh.
They don't give him like flat or Edgeworth hair.
He's cosplaying Edgeworth. Phoenix stocks up on gel, prove me wrong. I think
absolutely does.
I was gonna say he looks more of a wax kind of guy, but I think you're right. You can only really like I keep looking over there because that's where the Steam banner art is. That has to be gel, like the most.
Or cowspit.
It has to be gel, like the most plasticky stuff. Like the moment you get it on your hands, you have to put it in your hair because within seconds it becomes like cement. And it just holds. I'm speaking from experience. I've used hair gel before.
Yeah, I know. I had a mohawk once with that type of gel. Took me like 2 jars though.
A mohawk stream with Tifa?
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
It's when she tried to foist off on me.
Also, are these free that she's offering?
I guess.
I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. Please, can we just throw her out at this point?
How is she still
Just
considered a credible witness? Why are we still listening to her?
throw her out.
So Jack, I trust you have super spiky hair by next stream, man. If it wasn't for the fact that my hair is already this long, and the last time I tried to go for like a mohawk, it was shorter than this, I would consider it. Remind me again in, let's say, 2.5 years after I got my next haircut. Then I could pull it off.
Don't think it will be 2 years before your next one.
It's only grown back for a year. Usually I get a haircut every 3 years.
Fair enough.
What was that?
Once his hair is short again, remind us.
Yes. Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Oh no.
This has to be a dream episode, right?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony.
No, Judge.
Let's hear about this decisive evidence while I'm nomming on my lunchbox.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed.
What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time?
That sounds kind of TOS.
She actually bribed him, yes. Yes, she did.
I mean, honestly, it would work on me too, but still.
Decisive
Why?
evidence. If you open the triple-decker lunchbox that she gave to the judge, and in the inlay, it has one. On the inside of the box, the topmost one, there's a QR code for like 99% off of her OnlyFans. That's how she got it.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes I wasn't looking at the crime scene.
Yes, you should.
And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was of course the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. So how does she know?
How did we not know about this shoe?
How did she grab it, and who pulled the tests and compared the samples?
Boyfriend number 3.
The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Can we please kick her out, still?
What? There was blood found on that shoe!
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
I agree with the crowd. This is bullshit.
Oh my god. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
What he said.
Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
This is illegal, isn't it?
That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. So she took the evidence, hid it from the police, and now comes with it herself. Like, this should not be allowed in court. Who's your favorite Ace Attorney character so far? I want to say Maya, actually. Because we kind of have some things in common.
Maya has a lot of the same energy as Tifa does. Yes, that is correct.
So I feel closest to Maya.
Like, look, it's a safe. Hey, can we break it open? No. Hey, it's a cute animal. Can we steal it? No. I have to agree with Maya, yes.
And especially after Emma here, I appreciate Maya a whole lot more.
Yeah. I have to agree.
Not Wendy Oldback.
I did not like Wendy. Yeah, Maya. Close runner-up would have been Penny from the Steel Samurai case. The assistant girl working at the studio.
Penny?
Yeah.
As a favorite.
Yeah. There were no weird twists with her.
no wild crap happening like, oh look, suddenly I have evidence coming out of my inventory.
Yeah, but she wasn't even a witness or anything.
Yeah.
She was completely normal.
Yeah, she was just working there trying to live her best life.
What a perfect director.
Salmonella? No. Voicing him was physically painful.
No, I think if I have to pick, it's going to be Maya.
Penny was nice and chill. She was just working there. She collects Steel Samurai cards. She traded one with us.
Penny was so chill, I thought she did it back then.
Penny getting the recognition she deserves. Thank you very much. Penny was cool. I would have loved it if she got more scenes. She did show up during the credits, but other than that, she deserved more screen time. And yeah, that would have been a twist that we both kind of expected. Like, yeah, Penny did it, or she had something to do with this, but she didn't.
She was too under the radar.
Penny
standard.
is innocent, an innocent person. The only thing we know about her is that she works when she collects trading cards, and why not? All makes sense. She seems nice. Who's your favorite character so far?
And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention?
No!
I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. 3. That means she has 10 in the office?
Do you see what the bullshit does to her?
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
I agree, because just because she says the blood is from these people, that doesn't mean anything.
Thank you, Ashworth. Yes.
This could just be ketchup.
I have this phone. It was on the crime scene, and I know you touched it. But I hid it from all of you.
This phone recorded everything, and I totally watched the video, but then I accidentally deleted it because I had to make space for Angry Birds or something.
But trust me, it was at the crime scene. I'm telling you.
Source, just trust me, bro. Yeah. I feel like my favorite character is Godot. I don't know if you've met him yet, but hopefully you will.
Doesn't ring a bell. I think he's later.
He's in one of the future games, yeah. It's taken them months now to get through the first game. It will be a while they get to.
Hey, we're only 20 hours into this game.
I
think.
The playtime according to Steam is 46.6 hours. And it's conversations like these that make us very slow at getting through video games usually.
And we only play Ace Attorney twice a week. So okay, yeah, maybe we have been playing for 2 or 3 months.
Something like that.
Yeah, kind of makes sense. But it makes us seem extra slow. But we're not that slow.
Imagine reading the line and continuing instead.
What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. Excuse me. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In every single case so far, we ourselves have hidden evidence and came in later in the court oh, I found this, and look, I found this, and oh, look, what do you know? This was on this murder weapon.
But Tifa, then it was okay because we're the main character.
In other words, this shoe is legal evidence, at least for the time being. Maybe this trial is reality, and all the others were dreams.
Oh.
This is the first one where they actually bring in courtrooms.
That kind of makes sense. Or maybe there's this unanimous agreement between all the people working at court in Japanifornia that it's kind of like a role play, like a huge improv session. You know, you just yes and everybody. You just go with the energy in the room.
We'll just make some shit up.
Yeah. Like Phoenix Wright does in every single case?
Exactly. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Ashworth sure is celebrating.
What do you mean it seems so? How?
There's laws for this.
Not so fast, Mr. Ashworth.
My favorite character up until now is probably Jake Marshall.
Jake Marshall?
No, I know what you're talking about there.
Was that the shaving dude?
But I guess you kind of have a point, maybe. Right? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I've earned Rise from the Ashes. Correct.
Yes, we are.
Day 1 trial. Correct.
Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department.
But that's not the same thing as an official police investigation, is it?
As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Seriously?
What? That's not how that works.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. What did you...
What? And how can this be all go behind the back of the person in charge of the case?
Just accept, Tifa. Let's just go with it.
You could at least study some evidence law, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have.
One would think that's part of our education, as a matter of fact.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems we have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
White animal shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky.
Wait, animal shoe? I thought Lana was wearing it. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Or the victim. I don't know whose shoe this is. Oh, victim shoe.
Tifa, that was a me-level joke. And now I know why people groan when I make them. But still I liked it.
I know, right?
I do dig it, kind of, yeah. Oh wait, no, some people play this case after they played the entire trilogy first? I didn't know that.
Why would you wait with this case instead of playing it immediately?
Because it got added later, I guess.
You have a good point.
We might have too, but when we loaded our save file, this just started immediately, so I didn't even think that was an option. But my favorite in the series, though, there are really great characters in Trials and Tribulations and the Investigations games. Alright. Still looking forward to a day when maybe we get to see Edgeworth in 3 dimensions.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Again.
Decisive evidence. Yes, you should have, but
we're pressing everything again, I suppose.
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes?
I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results.
The results?
How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. She does have a point.
This when the suspect is admitting she did it?
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with.
I agree. Chronologically, this case is shortly after Ace Attorney 1. In terms of development, the case was written after the trilogy, so it depends. That makes sense.
Well, especially since it's right after this, makes sense to play it now.
This one doesn't reference 2 or 3, and 2 and 3 don't reference this, so it doesn't matter too much.
So it's more like, which version do you have?
You just play it whenever, I guess.
Exactly.
I don't think you need to press everything. Actually, maybe. Press it.
I'll press it all.
And you found this shoe at the scene of a crime.
I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So I took the shoes off of a victim and the criminal.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.
Good point.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here. carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen.
I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really.
Also, how big is that lunchbox bag? Because she carries
Big.
a lot of them.
Big.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of a crime. Now, tell us what you did next.
2 types of blood.
Ooh, but in Ace 24 they reference this case. Okay. That's gonna be like 10 years till we get that.
I'll probably don't
this
even
pace.
remember this case at that point.
Why is my nose so itchy suddenly? So, you brought it to the forensics department.
If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert.
And she got away with a little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman?
As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe.
Yeah, how did her blood get on there? Make it make sense, please.
Also, they say that the blood type matches. Not that it's a direct DNA match with...
No. I guess here that means the same thing. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test.
Oh, there we have it.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. You claim to know something about blood tests, Rookie?
Yeah, blood tests are like the bullet markings of the bloodstream.
It's the fingerprint of your... something.
Huh?
Does she have onigiris on her head?
Yes.
It's the lunch lady.
Hello, youth. Happy Friday. How are you doing? And also again, yes.
She also has an octo wiener on her neck.
Indeed.
Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Mortenard, I love you for making the same Pokemon joke that I always do when I talk about onigiri.
They're jelly donuts. That bit made no sense for...
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Been contemplating whether to go out for Pokemon Go Community Day tomorrow because it's warmer now. Are you guys going out?
Probably not.
And no, I will, but not for the full 3 hours. Like usually we spend the full time on the day. But here it's also going to be really warm. So I think I'm gonna go out for like half an hour maybe. I do want a full shiny XU set.
Oh damn, that's tomorrow.
Yeah. So once I have at least 3 shiny XUs, I'm good to call it a day. Because then I can evolve and have 1 shiny in each thingy.
Wait, I need to try to do Brock Ice for this. These donuts are great. Jelly filled are my favorite. Yes. Yes. It's been over 20 years and it's lived rent-free in my head since then. I was so confused as a 9-year-old German kid. I've never seen a donut before. I didn't know what a rice ball or an onigiri was either. I'd never had those things.
They didn't even have to call it an onigiri. They could have gone with rice ball and people or kids would have been just fine. Like,
yes.
no, it's a ball made out of rice. Like, how hard can it be?
Exactly.
Imagine leaving the house for any reason. I absolutely agree. I would prefer not to, but like I said...
we also need to buy groceries.
We also do... Well, I'm planning on doing that tonight, depending on when we finish stream.
Fair enough. Well, yes, but 4 kids. But why did they keep that thing in the German dub? They just translated from the English. Nobody looked at this and went like, those are not donuts. Nobody. I was misled. And at my tender age.
We got too much on the stuff, that didn't matter.
Yes.
They
Yes,
should
but
have
a heat wave? Yes, it's warm.
It's been warm this entire week and it's going to be warm next week and it's probably going to be warm for the next 6 months, I feel like.
In 6 months it's December. I hope not. What's the German snack you'd eat as a kid? Oh, that's a good question. Pretzels.
Schnitzel.
Soft pretzels.
Currywurst. Bratwurst. Apfelstrudel. No. Yeah, I kid the Germans. Beer.
What? As a kid? Beer is not a snack.
Even I had beer as a kid.
Let's not talk about my bad parenting experiences from my parents.
Beer after 9 is fine. It's basically breakfast.
Do you know that you literally just said 9, which is no in German? Anyway, how about I tell you about the first time I was drunk in my life, which was at a very tender age, after we're done with the game for today. Then maybe we get through the trial today.
I mean, that we can do. Speaking of groceries, time to go ahead to Groundhogs to pick up our family groceries since our entire household is sick.
Please give her our regards and tell everybody a quick recovery from us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give Groundhog a love from us.
Yes. At whichever distance is most suitable.
And don't get sick yourself, of course, yeah.
Beer in a Pokemon episode? I don't think we ever had alcohol there, did they? No.
They probably hit it.
Not in the English version, at least. No. German snacks are really good, yes, but Apfelschorle were magnificent. I don't like Apfelschorle. I've never been a big fan of apple juice. So mixing apple juice with fizzy water, just like, nah.
I see the appeal.
What? Yes. Sorry, I was a lemonade kind of person. Like cola, Sprite, those.
I prefer plain apple juice, but I'm not
and
a
ginger
fan
ale.
of fizzy drinks in general.
Or the German-Austrian version of ginger ale, Almdudler. You should look that up.
Oh, that's quite
good.
popular.
Yes. But Emma, how about you tell us about blood types?
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear.
But that's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana's guys.
Handy.
Why not just keep running the DNA test so that maybe you have it by day 2 instead of there's little doubt? I mean, I often have little doubt, and that's actually incorrect because I'm usually... Jack often has little doubt, but is then still wrong.
About things you say, I usually have big doubt. And I think that's fair. What about Apple-Lade?
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Same if it's an apple-flavored drink, then I'm still out. I like apple crumble and apple pie, but that's the extent of my
I think that's a
apple
drink.
liking. Yeah, if it's like an apple lemonade, it's like can drink, but
like the 8 makes there's what drink is it that also ends with 8?
Lemonade?
No, not lemonade. It's a brand name.
Yes, lemonade.
No, it's like a never mind. I think it's a drink. Court is re-adjourned until the DNA results.
Not this judge. No.
Yeah, or at least we can continue and then see what comes out of the results.
We don't need facts where we're going.
You're not gonna tell me they wouldn't have had it by day 2.
It's a busy day.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that. Kool-Aid?
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, thank you.
Never had that.
Same.
Not a thing over here.
Let's
press.
Also, it's not flawless, decisive evidence.
I can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
Oh, what's that? Peppered fish guts. Oh, look at how much it is. Oh, that seems...
Listen, somebody has to eat it, I guess, but not me. Can you please press buttons so this goes away?
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? The fact that she even just carries this around.
Thank you, Tifa. Once when I was in Cologne, I had something passion fruit schorle. It wasn't called passion fruit, but I can't recall what it was, and it was very good. See, that I would be into. It's just, I don't necessarily like apple-flavored drinks.
If it wasn't that, I have a feeling it's a high chance that it was mango maracuya.
Yeah, something like that.
Like that's,
But I like those things.
that's like the combination that's quite popular here.
Anything orange in color with maracuja is popular here.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah.
Whenever we make like orange tofu, variation of orange chicken, we also use a orange maracuja
And it's good. It's
instead
really
of just orange juice.
nice. Yeah. Can
Makes it
recommend.
nicer. We haven't made that in a while. We should do that in the weekend. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. That's it. It was that. I knew it.
Got you.
When in doubt, it's maracuja.
Yes.
Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Wait.
No, Tifa, you're not gonna Google how much water does it take to make human soup.
Oh, I don't need to Google that. Ah, I was hoping
the
for...
bacon does start to stink though.
I was hoping for the soup wisdom.
No.
I had a good feeling I could trigger that. Wait.
This is how she ends up on like watch lists from the government.
Okay,
Better to have lice in the pot than no meat at home.
Okay, I got close enough, I suppose. We got food-related stuff. Bacon
Oh look, another line.
and lice soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
I have
lots of problems with this shoe. Also, it's not really my taste.
I think I have a whole other issue with it.
That she's not wearing. No, this is the victim's shoe.
It can't be her shoe because her shoes were black.
It's the victim's shoe.
It can't be her shoe because her shoes were black.
She peeled it off Goodman.
A kobold with a D at the end. Oh wait, the victims. Ah, crap.
I keep telling you. I mean, good thinking, because she wears the same kind of
That
shoe.
makes more sense. The entire time I thought she took one of Lana's shoes. Ha! Ranger is still the true kobold. And always will be. Okay, my defense is gone. A problem. This is critical. Is there a problem with a victim's shoe?
There's a problem.
Yes. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with his evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish cut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? They swapped shoes? That would
No,
be
they didn't. I
even
really
more
doubt
of a
that.
mystery.
Ranger still, Ranger always.
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with his evidence.
I can't say fair.
Okay, it has to be the blood underneath, right? Because why else would we be allowed to rotate this?
I could have
Press E,
stepped
please.
in it.
I'm making things up as I go, by the way. I wonder if you noticed there's blood on the bottom of his shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie, or it will be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of his shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of this shoe? The fact that he fell in the trunk and therefore never touched the ground?
The fact that there is no blood on the ground? Maybe?
Is this the best picture we have
Yes,
to
it's
prove
the
that?
only picture we have.
I suppose. Then let's try it. Can I save here? No.
Don't need to because I'm correct. How did the victim step in his own pile of blood? He was tap dancing while he was getting stabbed.
Well, he got stabbed, fell into the truck, or into the trunk, and that was it, so he could never have stepped in it.
The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of a crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of a crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe.
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Shouldn't he know if there have been bloody footprints?
No, you!
Someone must have seen these bloody footprints. And no matter how horrible it is, after a crime scene, a cleaner needs to be paid to have those footprints cleaned.
Yeah, after the pictures have been taken. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Bloody hell. Well, no.
Yeah,
Non-bloody hell.
Unbloody.
Order! 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 Well, witness!
The sentence wobbles from time to time in... What was that again?
Great Ace Attorney 1 has to be a reference to Doctor Who, right? Possibly.
I don't know either, so I cannot tell you.
I've also never watched a single episode of Doctor Who.
Same. The murder occurred elsewhere. That also makes sense.
Yeah.
If that's going to be the case, but honestly, I'm kind of lost.
That would also relax the issue that there is very little time between Miles Edgeworth getting the frickin' parking stop at 12 past the hour and the murder happening at 15 minutes past the hour.
Yeah, there's been 3 minutes for him to leave, to have the murder committed. For
He
her to be
raced in
arrested.
there, screeched to a halt, jumped out of a car, and before
Sprinted
the
up the
engine
stairs.
stopped rumbling after being turned off, he ran out there and then the murder happened and everything.
Well, obviously he was in such a big rush that he forgot to close his car.
Yeah, he never locked the doors or the trunk. Yeah.
What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh,
That is true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. And now, Psycho, you're gonna be correct.
hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What? Honestly, why do we even have to prove that? If we prove it's incorrect, then isn't that enough?
Here we go.
I see. Now I get it.
Also never watched Doctor Who, I just know the above quote.
I get what?
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Okay, tried to resist, knocked the hands aside, kicked over the oil drum.
Yes.
No chance
A
against
lap
her.
hurt this woman. Ah.
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness!
Go with it.
Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean?
It scrubbed the entire floor clean, of course.
Yeah, because clearly that's what happens with blood.
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason.
Aha! You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her.
What?
Even then you won't fully get rid of it.
Can we discuss the fact that they are oil drums, not water drums or cans or whatever? The name is misleading, is all I'm saying.
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence.
That reminds me, Miss Guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him?
So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it.
But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Again.
Little girl, what did you just say?
She asked what was an oil drum with water doing there in the first place, which is a wonderful question.
No, she said that she's on the prosecutor's side. So now she got mad.
I know, I
about
was
that.
reading the line.
Oh, my bad. Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side?
How dare thou?
Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
How is any of this allowed?
Wait, witness. Don't tell me you have something else.
Wasn't he already gonna call her guilty?
Yeah.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt in court.
Contempt of court.
Oh. Your threats don't scare the cuff up, Queen. Look at this!
A photograph.
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. Did you see the note in the exhaust pipe?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that fell out and that we currently have.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in that photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet. Yes, and?
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
If it's wet, and the shoe is on the ground, why isn't the shoe cleaned?
That's not how that works.
That's what they're gonna imply.
What
Wait for it.
material is the shoe? Would it wash off or would it leave a stain?
If it's like rubber, yeah, but it's not fully blooded anymore.
When was the last time you wore rubber loafers?
Think of the game. I'm gonna be
Let's
correct.
find out.
Just wait for it. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel.
If your towel is wet, you should hang it up to dry.
Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end.
I'm a ghost! This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare verdict for good.
Your Honor, wait.
What?
Yes, 100 million times. Yes. This.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. It will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Wait a minute, I've got to go ahead with this.
Suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
I think here? Like, it's the shoe, but...
We could talk about the shoe not actually...
And it's sideways. I'll just click on the shoe.
I think it's the exhaust pipe.
No, that comes later. It's this thing.
Shoe. Well, it's probably here, don't you think? No, Tifa.
As your elder, Mr. Wright, let me give you a piece of advice. When you point at something, at least remember to keep your eyes open.
I believe he's trying to say that no one's falling to your bluffs, Mr. Wright. Open your eyes, Mr. Wright. Think scientifically. That's what I'm doing. The shoe is on its side, not touching the ground. There's been water, so even if it did...
Now, let me take over. There, please, press the button.
I mean, that's important too, but it's not the reason.
The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this?
There's something poking out of a car's muffler.
Thank you.
That's what she was talking about. The car's
my line.
muffler. Like I said. Sorry.
Oh, that thing is called a muffler.
Yes.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
Your impression of Phoenix Wright was actually really good there. Kudos to you, sir. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of a car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Most people don't have notes stuck in the exhaust of their cars. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
The phone. It's the phone. The word muffler was overheard. Miss Starr, recall your testimony to the court. The one you gave us, I believe, the second time before you changed it another 800 times. That one?
She overheard muffler. Muffler. Ugh.
Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Doesn't that just immediately mean she's guilty? Having that kind of reaction?
One would think.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth.
I think we already have it.
No, we found Artingy in the trunk.
Oh yeah.
The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
I can't believe she turned into Mario's death wish. Everybody goes somewhere in a moment of shock.
Whew, that was close. But we made it, at least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry.
Can always eat.
30 minutes. That's
I mean,
nothing.
They have to go to the car. It's probably near. If it wasn't...
Wait, whoa, stop, time out. Day 2 trial letter?
I think that was already the name at day 1.
No, that was
Or at
trial
the-
former.
Oh, that's good. Well, don't ask me about the titles. Oh, I say we also take a short break.
It's a good idea.
Stream is adjourned for about 3 or 4 minutes, as usual. Be right back.
And we're back.
We are. You finished the first part of a trial day, now you have a break for the second half.
Yeah, that makes sense for trial letter, but it says day 2. We're still on day 1, no? Or did I already forget about day 1?
What day we?
Or did I already forget that we are on day 2 instead of day 1?
I think day 1 was just learning that we have to take a case. Maybe. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. in District Court, lobby number 2. How is it only 12?
Mr. Wright,
Huh? What?
are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So, what happened to your sister anyway?
Also, why is she even blaming us, when her sister is the one that already said she's guilty?
Emma, well, if I have clients like your sister who believes it's in her best interest to immediately confess to a crime we all agree she did not actually commit, yes, it very much is like this.
Like, she's kind of putting this on us. It's not us that's making this hard. Oh, true, day 1 was the investigation, and the first trial is usually day 2. Yeah, true.
Oh, I forgot about it myself too.
I saw it as day 2 in trial, but that's not correct.
So, what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up his temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least.
That's not true, actually.
Yeah.
As far as I believe, bulls can't even see the color red.
As far as you believe? As far as you know.
As far as I know, they can't even see the color red. It's just...
aggressively waving it at a bull?
It's the movement of the cloth that triggers them. Officer Marshall!
Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. I've got the home range locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That's hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway?
No, it's Phoenix.
Oh. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I have seen these last 2 days have been really on edge.
Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's days in Mufflers, for example.
Hello, Evie. Happy Friday. How are you doing?
Evening. Happy Friday. How's your day coming along? Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
Gluck, gluck, gluck.
I mean, I was just going in, repeat.
I'm okay, glad to hear it. I seem to have trouble doing certain voices today, I don't know why.
It's warm.
That has to be it, yes. The air temperature is affecting my vocal cords.
Other than that, it's weekend.
Yes,
so
I
heck
need a
yeah.
weekend.
Not looking forward to the temperatures though.
True. Heat sucks, but it happens.
You don't say? No, you... no, don't just...
Blah, blah, blah.
No, don't that just beat all?
What even is that sentence?
I've seen the red breeze blow at a slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler.
Yeah. What? But not that in the picture, was she?
I have a question for you, although you're probably too cool to answer. What game is next for weekend slots after this?
We have no clue yet.
If the issue is not that we're too cool to answer, it's that we simply don't know.
We usually start discussing that when we're done.
Yeah, because of you. I'm peak German in that regard. I would be more than happy to have like a schedule or like at least a list for a year in advance.
Yeah, what if you just don't feel like it in that moment?
If I make the list, I start looking forward to it so that I will feel like it. I assumed you will do all the Ace Attorney games.
We will. We just haven't decided yet if we're going to continue right away with the next one or take a break first with another game and then do the second in the team.
We also still have the Zero Escape series to continue. And a bunch of other things.
I mean...
Long answer, short, we really don't know currently. Do you have a suggestion?
That sounds like you have a recommendation.
Meanwhile, the awards ceremony that afternoon. Andrew have seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
Yeah. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken?
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. Same.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
Fecal matter. We are knee deep in fecal matter.
Kind of feels like
manure, if you will. If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh wee! Right. Half an hour later, back in the court. I have a recommendation, but nothing new. Alright. We will let you all know once we know. And by once we know, I mean once Tifa decided, most likely.
I mean, I have a couple in mind.
That means she can't decide until like 15 minutes before the stream, worst case, and I have to
basically
post the schedule and like question mark again. Gross, Jack. That's what I was aiming for.
I'd like to resume.
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Makes
You
sense.
good?
There's something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets.
Your face is blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets.
And you gave me a nurple.
I'll take it. I don't know what a nurple is, but I'll...
I think it's when somebody twists your nipple.
That kind of works in this sentence.
I would look like that if somebody twists my nipples.
You probably would, honestly.
Yeah. After I recovered from the immediate pain, I would end up looking like that.
What do you have in mind? Besides the games we already mentioned, so the next Ace Attorney, Zero Escape, I was also thinking...
Virtuous Last Reward.
Yeah, was also thinking of the Friendship route in Danganronpa, and the game we talked about before that also has an anime, Steins Gate. I think we bought that. Yeah. Even though it's kind of too late now. I believe they went bankrupt now.
Better late than never.
That is true.
Steins Gate is a hard yes.
Like, I have been wanting to play it.
We will find out.
And I think it would also be a good contrast to Omori. Because it's not visual novel, is it?
It literally is a visual novel.
Was that a visual novel?
Steins Gate is literally a visual novel.
Oh, I didn't think that was a visual novel, actually.
I guess that puts it further down on the list in Tifa's mind. Play I Love You, Colonel Sanders, but
We've
we already
done that one. We went through that in like 2 or 3 streams, I think.
2. We played that for Valentine's Day last year. Wait, really? Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, look for My Favorite Letter is X. You will find all of them there. That's the truth. Damn, I wish I was there. It was glorious. You should watch it now.
Yeah, I played it a tiny bit.
Actually, don't watch it right now. Watch it after the stream. It's all there. We upload all our VODs to YouTube afterwards. Yeah.
That is true.
Gotta check those vids on YouTube. And yes, do that. They're all there. In even better quality than on Twitch, because Twitch doesn't allow 4K streaming, and we do actually record in 4K. I'm just saying that.
I remember that. I actually remember it as well, and it doesn't feel like over a year ago.
I was buzzed the entire time. We were having long drinks. And mommy,
true.
there was a lot and more and more lots of me trying to give you my sexiest voices.
Some of those moments might have turned a little bit awkward.
Yeah, but I'm peak awkward.
When these guys finish in 2 streams, you know the game's short.
But it's really good.
We expected it to finish it in 1, but it was longer than we thought. It worked.
The cringe you might feel watching it when there are those moments, that might give you the same as this.
That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent.
It can't be. This can't happen.
What is happening? Yeah.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Same.
Well, then I believe it is time we continued on with his trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation.
This is unacceptable.
It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
I'm guessing that's Meekins. How did I voice him? I tried to give him an annoying voice.
A high-pitched voice.
Excuse me? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh! That is not Meekins, and his eyes are mesmerizing.
He has pink sunglasses, or pink glasses.
And he has his own music. What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
He kinda seems like the priest in a video game that will turn evil.
He looks like... Does anybody remember... What's her name? I think it's Riku. From Final Fantasy X? The blonde girl? The Albert girl? With the 2 knives, I think, she uses for weapons. I think her name is Riku. Is it?
I don't know.
I forgot.
I don't remember.
One of the girl characters in Final Fantasy X and X-2, together with Yuna and Pain in X-2. They also have kind of eyes like this. Also, this person clearly committed a crime, potentially a murder, because pink sunglasses. Orange, somebody's about to get indicted. The second time I hear. Orange Power Man, my love. I guess he's like a priest, because...
Is he one of the boyfriends?
It kind of sounds like organ music.
He has kind of cool music.
I remember me saying my favorite character up until then was Jake Marshall. Yeah, it's been changed by now.
Okay, looking forward to see who this dude is now.
A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. I'm gonna give him the sexy voice.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Who on earth is he?
I mean, he's kind of hot.
He looks like a better version of Von Karma.
Not really.
No, it's you!
Who is you?
Blinking man.
Oh. Sorry I'm late, Aji. The rules were packed, it's just me.
Aji.
Long time no see, eh, Aji? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello! Now I've been so busy.
Busy? Busy smizzy, Aji, my boy. You have to make time to relax.
I can imagine this dude normally would be really loud and booming.
I want him to be my grandfather. He said 3 lines, and I like it.
Yes, indeed.
Budgie? Seems to be his nickname for the judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? So you're Raito, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about your little... so sorry about a little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly! Little Worthy.
Mr. Wright! You don't know the district chief of police!
We don't know a lot of things.
Chief of police.
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
He can handcuff me if he wants. I'd go swimming with him. Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone.
I think we've heard the name Gant by someone before.
Possible.
Also, why is he standing in the witness stand if he just came in?
So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it?
Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's...
My sister's muffler!
So Miss Star wasn't just saying things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. Except in that picture. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. Is that a sheath? For like his knife.
I have no clue.
That item looks strange. It's really quite embarrassing even for us.
What's this?
It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
Oh, so it is.
What is happening?
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth!
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job?
Now, wait a minute, Worthy.
I've no desire to hear your excuses.
I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Tense music, but happy face. I don't like that combination. Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth.
That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had...
A bad tuna sandwich. I spent most of my time in the toilet.
You're head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
What? Are you serious?
Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
Is everybody just really bad at their jobs here?
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of his knife.
The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think all I have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it. Give it to Emma.
In short, yes. Okay.
That's not me, by the way.
Now rotate. And press the button. In short, yes.
That is the button, right?
How are any of these people keeping their jobs?
Oh, it's broken. Wow, don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood. I'm glad I got to see the appearance of Damon Gant before I had to go audio only. Be back after shopping.
Happy shopping.
I am happy for you and have a nice shopping trip, please.
Hope you find everything you want.
Yes.
Plus everything you don't go there for, but buy anyway.
And I hope everything is on sale.
That would be really nice.
Yes, it would be. Switchblade knife found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. Okay.
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
Do you think the tag is from evidence?
Probably.
Because it looked like a case number. Like DL6, but different numbers and digits.
Oh wait, what was on our... Can I see that now?
Yeah,
No.
court record. Court record?
Oh no, doesn't have an SL number. Thought
Well,
maybe it
6,
was
7S.
Maybe that's also an evidence number. Also?
I'm not terribly sorry, I'm saving the video game.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife.
Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. Department in disorder. Here we go.
Seems kind of random.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. The time of a crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
So why did he come?
There was a murder at the police department. A detective.
That's hush-hush information, Archie. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Wait, a second murder?
Yes,
Okay.
apparently.
Wait a second, you said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a double murder at the same time.
I mean, technically, in the previous case, we solved 2 cases at once. Do you think we're gonna solve 3 cases this time around?
I don't think so.
Order, order, order!
But this is gonna make it even more confusing.
Anyway, at the department we were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright,
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places.
The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
I think they're linked, honestly.
I mean, obviously, but how? Special
What?
knife.
Excuse me, special. How to come by this particular knife anywhere else? Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Ryder, but I can't say that now. Not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery.
And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler. There has to be something, right?
That's why I'm pressing everything.
This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Ryder. How can he just get away with saying this over and over?
Because the answer doesn't have to do with our case. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, righto?
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. It's the tag 67S. It's the same as on our note. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be SL92, but we're reading it wrong.
Well, that looks printed.
Yes.
And our note has a 5.
No,
Actually.
it doesn't. It's exactly the same thing, except ours is turned around.
Okay.
Or mirrored or whatever. Why is he here in the first place? Reasons.
We do not know.
I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place.
He was curious and wanted to see how the case was going.
I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time.
Okay, so it is the note.
So how were things down at the department?
So, one back, and then present. And it's that thing. So it's 212. Wait a second. At last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean, Komaji? This is great.
And why do all of these witnesses enjoy it? Like they're in the middle of a drama or a show that they are picked out of to perform in?
I think they're all related to Lotta Hart, and they're just in it for the thrill. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7 is 12 divided by 2.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside?
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? It's an 11037 moment all over again.
Ah! Aha!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. It's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag.
That's what we're saying.
Order! 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 Well, Chief.
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Ryder.
What?
I win? What game is this guy playing? How about we save and leave it at that before you fall asleep on us?
We can do that. That reminds me, Honest Psycho, you haven't played Ace Attorney yet, right? How are you enjoying it so far from what you've been witnessing?
I don't know why OBS just did this. There was supposed to be the usual screen transition and we just switched and it froze for a second. Oh well.
Well, it's okay now.
Don't worry, there are more than enough 1137s in Ace Attorney. It seems to be a trope that gets used a lot. I get it. It makes sense.
Oh, you didn't double save.
You didn't double save.
No, well, you took the control from me.
Gee, why would I do that?
Skinner, breaking the
Happy
matrix.
Friday.
How you doing? Ow.
Apparently we did.
Ah! You cut me with the keyboard. Oh,
I what now, mate?
Dippity.
I'm sorry, I did what?
Ah, the edge of the keyboard is sharp.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is. It was this bit, and it kind of hit like right at this bit on my nail.
I'm gonna try something very dangerous. Don't do this at home. I'm a trained professional.
Yeah, you hear that?
It's just an edge, Tifa.
Yeah.
There's...
You cut me with it. Look, it's turning
Ooh, I
all...
actually do feel it.
It's turning all red. Wow.
Alright, another minus point for Logitech keyboards. The middle of this is actually not rounded, I guess. That's weird.
The things you can get cut by.
Wild. It's kind of hard to uphold my suspension of disbelief, but that's just me. Like, what is this court system?
There's a lot to doubt.
It's kind of like they took the worst parts of every court system in the world and they mishmashed it all together into one.
Well, it's kind of more like you don't need to study for this. Just be good at common sense and finding liars.
Common sense.
And then you're good.
When the game gives you nothing to go on. Yeah.
From a Phoenix point of view.
True, I guess.
Just got back from watching Transformers. How was it?
Is Michael Bay still involved with those movies?
Also, what Transformers are we on nowadays? I thought we were done with those. Aren't we at like 20?
It's a new franchise, Tifa. It's Transformers Rise of the Beasts.
Oh, and that is not a continuation of... Or did they reboot them already?
I couldn't tell you.
Sleepy Tifa, joke's on you, I'm always sleepy.
Yeah, I can confirm that.
But after my light heat stroke yesterday, I'm even more sleepy.
Yeah. Bay only directed 3 of them. The film was pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Michael hasn't directed in like a decade. I'm
Really?
sorry, I didn't know you were on a first name basis with him.
I have to say, I watched, I think, 2 of the Transformer movies, maybe more, don't remember. It wasn't horrible.
I've made the unfortunate mistake, I think, of watching 5. And between Michael Bay
That could be.
making some really, really weird decisions, like I believe every single movie has at least one scene where an adult tries to get into the pants of a minor. Which... Why? Why? They are... I didn't think they were good movies.
So Transformer Marathon? Change your mind?
No, Tifa.
We now have full weekends.
No.
So this looks like what a 12-year-old imagines court would function. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. At least with some things I kind of like it, like how fast they are. Like in a few days it is all done. Here you can wait years. That's like the only plus.
The trope was left back in the 3rd film. I'm good that we only have 3 movies where that is an actual plot point. Because, I mean, there should be 0 if you ask me, but...
Bumblebee is the yellow car that
Yes.
didn't have a voice, at least in the beginning, right? You used
Yes.
like the radio to communicate.
Yeah,
Okay,
I remember
yeah.
correctly.
Then I...
The only Transformers
character.
movie that has a right to exist is the first one, and only it pushed CGI to the next level. It was mind-blowing back then. Yes, the CGI was incredible for the time. My problem, and I've seen that complaint in other places too, is in those movies when the fights between the Transformers happen. I, a lot of the time, cannot tell you what is happening, because there is this huge mass of metal fighting, moving around with another huge mass of metal. Like in the cartoons and in comic books and stuff, they are very colorful usually. So if you know the colors of a good guy and you know the colors of a bad guy, you can tell who is who and kind of what is happening. In that movie, because from what I remember seeing, they went with more natural colors, like they actually painted, like spray painted with like metallic colors. A lot of the time it was like shades of color going at each other, and suddenly, oh no, I'm wounded. I'm like, I'll take your word for it. I didn't see it happen, but
Because you blinked.
sure, I guess, yeah.
Find out how he lost his voice in Bumblebee. I thought that was in the Transformer thing already. Didn't he lose it in a
Didn't they
battle
explain
against
that
someone?
in one? Yeah, exactly.
Like I have some memory about that in the back of my mind, but I don't fully...
So the dialogue is just bad. No one talks like this. What do you mean? You don't talk like that? Yeah, they're Michael Bay movies.
I think you'd be surprised.
I mean,
Every
some
time I
people
hear
talk
Michael
like
Bay
that,
though,
but
I
not
think of
a lot of
Epic
people.
Rap Battles.
True, Epic Rap Battles has one where... Okay, I mean, they've been out for a while, spoilers. There's one where Michael Bay shows up and
There's
he
new
kills
ones
it.
coming.
And he just kills it.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Before that, I didn't really know the name Michael Bay. It was after that I was like, oh, he's from these movies. And then it like kind of clicked.
Yeah. Epic Rap Battles has taught me a lot of actual history. Because, like, I remember at some point in at some point in school in history lessons, I heard the name Mansa Musa before. And I remembered it was an important person, but I couldn't tell you why or what they did. And then it was an Epic Rap, I was like, oh, it's that guy. Yeah, no, that makes sense. His name has been floating around for an eon.
I'm good at
If you care about those
floating
movies,
around
yes.
everything that's floating around there.
Yeah.
I don't
Basically.
really care much about actors' names or producers or directors.
I think he's the director.
So usually it just goes whoop. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, okay. Some names stick, most don't.
I think the only name of a producer that will forever be etched into my mind is M. Night Shyamalan, because he made the last Airbender movie. It's so bad.
That was such a shame.
I did not want to believe the reviews because I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon.
Well, his movies are either really good or bad.
Yes, I agree. M. Night Shyamalan, to me also, either he makes a movie that I would not watch if you paid me, or he makes movies I love. And it's kind of like, from the ones I've seen, it's like a 75-25% split. Like, most of them I don't care for.
I mean, that's fair.
Have you not seen Bad Boys, Pearl Harbor, Armageddon?
I have not seen Pearl Harbor.
Same.
I have no
seen
clue
Armageddon, and I've seen
about
Bad Boys.
Armageddon. Is that something I've seen?
Not with me.
The name doesn't ring a bell. I'm going for no right now.
I have seen Armageddon and Bad Boys, like I said, and I didn't know that Michael Bay directed that. It kind of makes sense now that I think about it, but...
You can base it on the amount of explosions.
The name should absolutely ring a bell at least. We can't all know the same things, right?
Oh, that's with Bruce Willis. I think I might have actually seen that. Where's images on this thing?
Not you, Jack. I'm just saying, there's also plenty. Armageddon! Will Smith.
Yeah. I have.
Will Smith wasn't in Armageddon.
I have.
What?
No, Will
Do you mean
Smith
Independence Day?
Will Smith was not in this one.
I'm confused. After Earth, that was M. Night Shyamalan, I think. I mean Bruce Willis. What?
Yeah, Armageddon is in Bruce Willis. Armageddon is in Bruce Willis. Bruce
Correct.
Willis is in Armageddon.
That is a true statement. Armageddon is not Bruce Willis. Thank you for establishing that.
I think
I always wondered, is Bruce Willis actually Armageddon? Is the entire movie Armageddon just different shots of Bruce Willis acting? How amazing of an actor is he? How much range did this man have back then that he was able to play all of these different characters and Bruce Willis, and also like the meteorite and everything,
Yeah,
and the spaceship.
It's the method acting. He's not in Armageddon. Armageddon is in him.
To prepare for my role as the meteorite, I actually spent 6 months in space, just circling orbit of planet Earth, and it just showed me parts of my life.
But looking at images from the movie, I'm quite sure at some point in my life I have seen it, but I do not remember. It must have been at least like 10-15 years, because that movie...
Probably. It's 25 years old by now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 1998 you just had it open.
Oh, I didn't look at that.
This is my fault for having 2 conversations at once. Yes, I cannot recommend that.
It's okay.
So, Armageddon, Will Smith, his other alien film, I mean Bruce Willis. Yes.
After Earth was the worst thing I've ever seen. Will Smith was absolutely horrible in it. I guess because he wanted to give all the spotlight to his son, but he was even worse in that. And that was a waste of time.
As a person, I can grasp the concept of loving another person, in this case a son, so much that you want to take a step back from your own stardom, that you want to give your kid a platform. You want to show the world how awesome your kid can be. How you can choose After Earth for all of that.
Didn't Will Smith also direct that one?
M. Night Shyamalan did.
I'm quite sure Will Smith also was...
Potentially, but it has M. Night Shyamalan on the credits for it.
Well, they probably did it together. I think he did both.
The only thing I've ever seen... What's his name? Jaden?
Yeah.
In where I did not absolutely hate how he was acting it was in...
I've got the Netflix series, you mean, right? That got cancelled. I've got the name.
Jaden Smith, Netflix. The Get Down.
Oh yeah, the Get Down was kind of enjoyable.
The Get Down was amazing, and to this day, that was the first Netflix cancellation that hurt me. That needed to be finished. Neo Yokio, haven't seen it.
Oh, no.
Nope.
Also, Fifth Element also has not seen. Was it The Get Down was not the first show that got cancelled that hurt? There was plenty before that.
For me, yes.
I mean, fair. But yeah, The Get Down,
My feelings.
he wasn't too bad in Karate Kid either.
I love Neo Yokio, it's absurd. Haven't watched it, and listen, out of all the things I've seen with Jaden Smith in it, I only liked The Get Down, and he was a small, well, he was one of the main characters, but still he had a comparatively small part because it was an ensemble cast. I will not watch anything else with this person in it because I just don't like anything else I've ever seen him do.
Oh, this was the
Sorry.
anime style
Yeah.
thing. I remember seeing it on
I've
Netflix.
seen the trailer for it, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch it. No, I'm
It
burned.
wasn't like, well, I must watch this or anything, and then I saw it had Jaden in it, and then it was like, okay,
Meh.
well, I'll probably leave it alone.
And as always, when he is brought up, I must ask, as he did back then, how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't even real? I think about this to this day. Some nights I lay awake at night and I wonder, what are mirrors? How are mirrors? But mostly, why are mirrors? Next time when Motonat is back, we have to ask him for like the metaphysics behind mirrors. Maybe he can explain it to us. Exactly.
I think I'll save that.
All of that was sarcasm, Skynet. No.
I wouldn't say I will specifically not watch anything that has him in it, but if I see him in it, it's also not like, okay, I must watch this, but other than that, well, I hate it here. I want to go home.
Greatest performance by a child actor. I don't even know what you're quoting. I wouldn't know. For all I know, this could be from After Earth, in which case I'm glad you liked the movie. I didn't.
Could be Karate Kid. Jaden and Karate
I haven't seen Karate Kid.
You have seen Karate Kid.
I have not.
We've seen Karate Kid together.
No, Tifa, it was on the screen. I did not watch it.
Well, that's not really my fault then, is it?
No, I protected myself. It's watchable. Well,
Yeah, Karate Kid, I have to say, wasn't too bad.
is Jackie Chan carrying the movie?
No, I have to say Jaden in it wasn't too bad either.
Okay. Maybe one day I'll give it another shot, but unlikely.
Like, it wasn't horrible.
It's watchable.
Hmm.
I don't have an attachment to the original series, I'm not a fan of anything.
Even if you have an attachment to the
I
original.
also didn't like the original
Seemed fun.
Karate Kid movies. I have seen those. I couldn't tell you anything about them. Except that there's that one kid, then there's the wax on, wax off scene. And then they fight and then the good guys win. It's like
Well, you'll be happy that's
classic
also in
80s, 90s, I want to say, movie. Don't think I saw all of them. I think I've seen like 3 of them. But when I was a little kid, and they've left so little impact on me. I do remember Mr. Miyagi and his like semi-confusing things.
Weren't
that
they
he was
gonna
trying to instill in
make another Karate Kid? Not
I don't know.
necessarily with Jaden, but
There's Cobra Kai, which is like a spin-off, right, where they focus on the Cobra Kai dojo. Yeah. And Jima keeps trying to get me to watch it. Apparently it's good. They even spawned their own video games and everything.
didn't we
Some
also
people
see
like
that?
I haven't.
Wasn't it more a comedy kind of thing?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think so, but I couldn't tell you.
Or I just have the name confused. Can also be typical.
How about, instead of being confused, you look something up for me, Tifa? Is there somebody for us to raid?
I actually already did,
Oh,
and
nice.
there isn't.
Well, then I must go to bed with me, myself, and I, and ponder whether at some point I shall watch any of the Karate Kid movies again, so that I have a better fond opinion on them.
First Transformer marathon.
No, I don't need that. I'm perfectly happy and fine without.
Don't think I have time for a Transformer marathon this weekend. Gotta finish Tears of the Kingdom, I think.
And that.
I haven't
Yes,
played
you
in
should.
like 4 days.
What? Even I played today.
Well, I didn't have time.
I'm gonna end the stream now because Tifa needs to play Tears of the Kingdom if she isn't falling asleep. Tifa, you ready?
No, now I'm falling asleep. I'm ready.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Sunday with more Ace Attorney. See you then.
Yes, well.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.